I've just been like really excited to play the backup deck all day today. I didn't want to start with it, but the red-white Convoke deck that we put together for Modern has kind of become the best deck in Pioneer lately, or like it's been like it got first and second in a Pioneer challenge over the weekend. It's been crushing, and I believe the history of the deck in Pioneer was I put this list together in Modern, Doomake ported it to Pioneer, and then it's just been taking off from there. That being said, the deck is a lot more powerful in Modern. Obviously, you would need it to be a lot more powerful. The fact that you get 8 of the Rebirth effects, 8 of the 0 drops, and then like Halo Hopper is actually a really good card in this version with either like a Rebirth effect for 3 tokens into a Halo Hopper on turn 1, or going Clarion Spirit 0 drop Hopper. All of these sequences are really good with Hopper. This is not an option that you want so much in Pioneer. Also, you get to splash for Stain the Mind in the sideboard with the fetch land mana base, which you can't really do so easily in the Pioneer version. But Stain the Mind is great. It's also better because you have more Kuldotha Rebirths. Anyway, Convoke the best Pio deck in Modern. But I've been anxious to play this deck again. Like the last time we played it, it went really well. I think this is also a deck that can be a player in Modern. It is significantly upgraded to its Pioneer version. Obviously, like you would need it to be, and I just wanted to circle back to it some more. I don't think we played it. Lost in the finals, RC Planet. That's sad. That deck is very good though, I think. Okay, sadly we don't have. This hand is like insane. If we have a 0, we don't have a 0. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan. Also, we'd keep if this was like Epicure, Thraben Inspector. Just go to 6. Uh-oh. On 5. Because, one big problem with this archetype, in my experience, though, is that it does not mulligan very well. I do think I'm just going to turn 1 Hopper, try to turn 2 Bushwhacker. Top card is Knight-Errant of Eos, which we actually can cast on turn 2 here, so we may not trade Halo Hopper for Goblin Guide. The burn matchup's probably pretty bad. We can see what our top card is with Goblin Guide before knowing if we want to make this trade. Might be getting Searing Blaze. Okay, so no blocking decision to be made. Our top card is Clarion Spirit, which does not do anything for me, unfortunately. I think I gotta get in. Convoke the Knight-Errant next turn. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. Hard matchup to mulligan to 5 on the draw against Goblin Guide into Blaze. Rolling Vortex is interesting. Into Suspended Riftbolt. I've been seeing this a lot into no attack. So my opponent's going to take 5 on their upkeep because of the Suspended Riftbolt. And I guess we are just trying to race with this Loxodon. What a swing. Good luck, Draven. Yeah, I've been liking humans a lot lately, too. Definitely been wanting to play more than just monocolor with Mariner being so good, and then the black-white human also. Alright, so they're down to 7. I'm at 7. I'm dead to 2 burn spells, unfortunately, because of the Rolling Vortex trigger. Not dead to that. My opponent is currently dead on board. We would take 5 from Loxodon every proof invoked? Yes. Yes. Actually, surprisingly important thing to be aware of. I cannot believe we won this game. I cannot believe we won this game. But yeah, that's like a surprisingly important trick to be aware of. I tend to bring in Forge-Tenders over Hoppers against like Lightning Bolt decks. I think that's what we're going to do here. Hopper's a really good game 1 card, I think. Blaze version of Burn playing the Vortex, what do you think? I don't have like super strong opinions on it. I think it's fine. I like that they're not playing 4 a lot of the time. I think it can be awkward to just play 4, then you're up against another aggro deck, or you're up against Murktide that's able to race it. But it's I like it to some extent. I've been mulliganing a lot here. But although now it's nice to have a Sunbaked Canyon. Pretty good curve, actually. We get to go Forge-Tender into Clarion Spirit, Thopter, and if we draw another 0 drop, we get to go turn 2 Loxodon. I've not been a fan of Clarion Spirit, the Pioneer version. Oh, we did draw another 0. Yeah, I know that you're not a fan of it so much in the Pioneer version. I think that Sodek was playing 3 copies in his winning list. I think that the right number may be in between 0 and 4 for sure. I also like have a hard time evaluating like how good is this card outside of the zeros, because I also don't think it's like terrible outside of like the games where you have a 0 drop. Making like a flying spirit is pretty good. And you know the deck also does this, and the modern version is like really consistent compared to the Pioneer version, but also like of course Pioneer power level much lower. It does do this sometimes, but you just have so much more redundancy to like everything that the that version's doing. Okay, don't think I'm gonna Forge-Tender the Lava Spike there. Right numbers between 0 and 4. Yeah, I mean like, you know, greater than 0, less than 4, not less than or equal to 4, greater than or equal to 4, or greater than or equal to 0. If they have 2 lightning bolts, they get to make these 4 power. Okay, we'll just Forge-Tender the Searing Blaze now. Prevent 6 damage. Kill Swift Spear. Take 3 down to 10. Big draw step. Another Loxodon. Kind of dangerous to... I guess they can't have 3 burn spells next turn, so I can just go Inspector, Convoke, Inspector, Ornithopter, Memnite, Spirit, make another Spirit. Do my favorite Swift Spirit? I think the Double Master one. I mean, I'm nostalgic for the original. The original is really good, but I like the Double Master one a lot. Why not just attack all? I mean, this is going to make it way easier for me to like not get like Lightning Helix or Deflecting Palms. They're just super dead next turn. This adds like 10 power to the board. They're dead next turn anyways. Why can't an opponent have triple burn spell? I mean, it would have to be 3 1-mana subs. Hope you're doing well today. Just for deck tech, it's their 3 gifted subs. Okay, turn 1 Hopper again. There you go. Are there multiple leagues? Yeah, everyone's lumped into one league at the same time. There used to be friendly and then competitive, and there's not anymore. Did we beat any Fury decks? I don't think we played against any Fury decks, no. Interesting. I guess I don't play the Hopper now. Because I want to have the 1/1 creatures unblocked to block Ragavan, and then I can go Clarion Spirit into Hopper next turn, which means I'm not Loxodoning, but I think that's fine. Shalish for 3 months, and the Nation if you want to post your deck tech in the chat. Happy to take a look. Painful draw this game. Maybe go Clarion Spirit into Loxodon, make 2 spirits next turn. That'd be pretty nice. Well, if only Clarion Spirit triggered like Ledger Shredder does, though, on your opponent's spells too. Be so sick. Tac. Kethis combo. Oh no! Why would you do this to me? DRC Shredder. So in my like initial drafts, I'm thinking that you want to play 4 Unearth. I'm thinking that you want to play 4 Rona. I probably would not play the second Hope of Giapur. I don't know that I would even play the first. I'm kind of surprised. I guess the Grinding Station stuff makes some sense here, huh? I guess No, let's hold the Epicure so we can maybe take 2 less damage and make spirits next turn if we draw a spell. They're not supposed to consider now. They're supposed to consider in combat. So now I know if they have Delirium or not. Now I'm not attacking with my goblins. I guess they wanted to do it for the Connive, which is fine. Yeah, but we are not attacking with the shamans. We're probably chump blocking the Ledger Shredder with one of our 2 spirits. Take 3, go to 9. Wait, why don't you have the 4 mana Jace? Don't you win with 4 mana Jace? What's the win con? Because I thought the combo kill was like 4 mana Jace, cast off Kethis after you mill your library. Yeah, Bushwhacker would be great. We also have a lot of power in play. We're not doing so bad without it. We have still have two Clarion Spirits, you know, making 2 creatures a turn if we draw another spell. Jace Perfected Mind Mill? Oh, so you just make a ton of mana and then Jace them for... Okay, so it mills for 20. No, it mills for 15. So you have to do that probably 3 times. I mean, if you can make 12 mana with the combo loop that easily, then fine. I don't actually... I've never played it. Oh, wow, the Channeler died because of they took themselves off Delirium. I've never played Kethis combo. It's kind of why I haven't, I've been talking about working on it. I will say that you probably can't play 4 copies of Urza Saga. Your deck is so color intensive. I would likely move away from the Urza Saga grinding station package and play like more Skrells, more Rona, more Teferi, more Tyvar. Because to my understanding, you don't need that package, right? All right, going down to 5, huh? Interesting. So we get 1 spirit, so we have 3 spirits total. I think we need to leave all of them back so we're not dead to a single removal spell. Let's just go ahead and see if I attack like this. They block here, and then they probably trade here or chump, taking either 7 or taking 9, which I think is a good exchange for me. So let's go ahead and make this attack. Then Jace Rona Retraction Helix combo. I wouldn't play Jace Rona Retraction Helix. I would just get like more redundancy, like 4 Skrells, 4 Rona, 4 Unearth. You also like I also don't know if you have enough legends in the deck. Like the deck needs to be almost all legends for Kethis' ability to work. In my thinking, I'm not 100% sure. Because you have some legends in the mana base, which is interesting. You also don't need to be doing. I'm not gonna build like a 4-color mana base for you, but you can't. I would be a Fetch Shock Trio mana base rather than a Glimmer Void Mana Confluence style mana base. Obviously with no artifacts, you don't have the Glimmer Void option as much. I wouldn't play Psy ever, especially you just don't have enough artifacts. Psy is like really bad anyways. More Lorens in the sideboard seem fine. Hard for me to just build Kethis combo for you though. All right, they should be pretty dead here, right? Yeah, I mean, bolts here, block, take. Yeah, they're dead even with the removal spell. They can't have anything else. There's 30-ish legends. Yeah, I just don't know what the minimum number is, but I feel like it may be higher than that. It may be like 33, 34. But again, I just don't have enough experience with the archetype to say for sure. All right, same sideboard plan. Click submit. I've liked the Merc type matchup. The go wide plan tends to be pretty okay against them. I don't know. I mentioned I might work on this. It just seems like such a headache, but I do think it's somewhat playable. So it's like you need the Mox Embers, obviously. You have 12 cuts here, plus 4 in the Planeswalkers, plus 5, plus 6. That's 8. So you have like 4 more slots here. I don't know if a second Jace would be good, if it's ever necessary for you to have 2 Jace. Probably not, but the 4 mana Jace, I guess Jace Perfected Mind is better card quality than 4 mana Jace. But I am also like a little bit worried about like a game going longer, and then when you combo, you just can't make enough mana to Jace enough times. Although if the game goes longer, I guess you do need to mill for less, so maybe that's an unfounded concern. Another double Sunbaked Canyon hand, but a pretty good one. Yeah, more channel lands seem like they would be valuable. I agree with that. The Jace is really good. Yeah, I think the Jace, like, it is cool that your win condition just gets you 1 Jace. You just need to do like a lot of playtesting and figure that out. Oh, I don't think I counted the 1 Unearth. You also play like some copies of Can't Stay Away, just like so you have a lot of redundancy to Kethis. You also definitely need to have like more disenchants in the sideboard to deal with artifact or graveyard hate, but I'm not sure exactly what split I'd recommend. Let's play a Forge-Tender instead of Gleeful Demolition into a counterspell here. Although it doesn't really seem like they're super likely to have a counterspell, huh? If they're not going to counter the Forge-Tender. They could have Spell Pierce. This is kind of bad into explosives on one. I play 4 Jace. Yeah, you can play more Jaces if the card is just good to cast. So, a lot of loose thoughts on an archetype I've started to build several times and like been very stuck on. Okay, just bolting the Epicure, big win for us. Would this deck want Spirit Guide if it was legal? I don't know. The deck doesn't mulligan very well. It would be fun to test Spirit Guide if it was legal. I don't know that I would though. Oh, so they must have just drawn explosives. My opponent's holding up the explosives here. I feel like there's a chance they don't main phase pop it. So that maybe gives me a chance to convoke Knight-Errant of Eos on my turn next turn. Could have been better to maybe hold the Inspector, but like if they're not going to main phase pop it this turn, maybe they don't main phase pop it there. You know, to cast one of these. Graveyarding Seasoned Pyromancer. That can't be good for me. But they immediately pop the explosives. 3 cards in their hand. Maybe a Seasoned Pyromancer. Let's crack a clue. Okay, no second Spell Pierce is good. My life total is not that high. I think I still convoke like this. Do you have feelings on Ratchet Bomb? Anytime it's better than EE? Yeah, against Creativity. I played a lot of Ratchet Bombs last week. Against Creativity, it's a lot better. Okay, 2 cards in their hand. 1 card in their hand. So if we draw a 0 or a land, we can convoke, but convoke with just 1 is not that good. So they have a Murktide. 8/8 Murktide. I don't know. We can't cast anything. We Sacred Canyon, I guess, but we're probably going to go to game 3. Play draw definitely matters a lot. Why is it better? It is so much better to have, like, to pay 2 mana first instead of later against Creativity. Instead of having, when you have to hold up 2 mana against Creativity, you're just kind of conceding. They're just very, it's in play, it's an onboard trick that they make you hold up 2 mana for and just really maneuver around you well. Whereas, conversely, this hand's so close. I think I have to go to 6, but I would probably keep on the draw. Keep this, I guess, on 6. Hard to mold in 5. Hand's pretty good if we draw a land or a Rebirth. I think I'll put back the Inspector. Epicure picking for 1 is pretty relevant, and I think we're still choked on mana. I'd rather have blood than food anyway. Drew the land, huge news. Let me attack for 1, since if my opponent may bolt my Clarion Spirit, and I'll protect it with Forge-Tender. Can I get basic mountain? I can. It's fine. Definitely looking to draw a Convoke spell, looking to draw a Bushwhacker, looking to keep my Clarion Spirit alive. They got 7 cards in their hand. Shredder, so we get to keep our Spirit alive, which is nice, although we are going to be triggering Connive. Although I guess I just played second Clarion Spirit, kind of weird, but it feels fine. Is Trickbind modern playable? Weirdly enough, it's like really good against Cascade. I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't recommend it. Starting a Spyro again. No attacks. Hold the Mire for blood token. Caster's given up Spirit for Burning Tree in the Pioneer build. Yeah, I mean, I think Spirit's way, way better in the Modern build than the Pioneer build. You just have 8 zeros. I'm been pretty attached to the Spirit. I don't think the Burning Tree is great in this current build, but I know that the Pioneer builds seem to have like a lot of contention at the moment. Does not seem like there's a clear best 75. Interesting attack. I feel like that they just hold back forever. They're doing so good. Very happy to see my best friend against Murktide, Fiery Islet. They have a counterspell they may counter Epicure, weirdly enough. So we get another Spirit. Obviously, if this Knight-Errant resolves, we're really happy. Pretty likely to just get countered, of course. Got another Spirit, though. Am I liking this Convoke build versus AWAC, Arid Mesa 6 blast deck? I'm liking... So, like, I think in, like, the I would play the Dinos over the Blasts. I think Dinos a bit better than Blast in that deck. But this one, I think, has been the best Convoke deck. Yeah, they got 4 cards in their hand. It could have been better to just attack there and not play the Knight-Errant. It's like we're getting Murktided. 7/7. 3 cards in their hand. So, what do we do? I think I'm going to discard the Inspector here. If I draw a Convoke spell, we're pretty happy. Could dig for a Bushwhacker. Alpha Strike, leaving back 1 Spirit to not be dead. A dead to removal spell is 5 damage. Yeah, I think we just have to like draw to Bushwhacker. Or we could potentially, you know, if we draw another 0 next turn, we go Spirit 0, 2 Spirits. That's okay. Doing pretty bad though. Yeah, they had the Bolt, so we were dead with that line. And now we're just in the timeline where we die a little slower. I think we chump block the Murktide. Oh, sorry, I should have chump blocked with the Ornithopter. I don't know how I just totally forgot Ornithopter was a blocker here. Fuck. Yeah, so maybe that line was a bit better, leaving back 2 Spirits. Here, I do think trading a Spirit for 1 damage for 3 damage is fine. Either way, we're just mostly drawing to Bushwhacker. No, I think it's better to block with the Ornithopter. I don't think their rebirths are really doing anything for us at this point in the game, but maybe I'm wrong. They have 3 cards. We're not doing very good. Not the most surprising counterspell. Although maybe if they don't have any, you know, if they don't have another counterspell, we can maybe draw Bushwhacker now. Okay, not quite dead on board. But just dead to any removal spell. Discarding Engineered Explosives. Can't be good for me. Alright. 1 and 1. Score 3-4 months. We're doing well. Welcome back. In these builds, the consistency a lot. Although we've been mulliganing, you know, I've been saying this too. Some like this deck really does not mulligan very well. So for us to have mulligan this much today's, I think we have. I think we went to 5 and 1, kept to 7, lost, kept on 6. Yeah, let's hold the Ornithopter. I can actually convoke a Knight-Errant next turn. Yeah, even if I don't draw a land. Any success breeding Knight-Errant with Dino? No. I think you'd probably play Loxodon over, or like I think you'd play Loxodon over Knight-Errant and like any green-white convoke shell. But it's just hard to play. It's hard to be 3 colors, and it's hard to. This Arid Mesa is really throwing me off here. Opponents also seem like they know what's up now. Land would be really nice. Go Spirit into Knight-Errant. What are they doing though? Why did Arid Mesa, Flooded Strand, Unholy Heat? I guess they're Breach. It must be Breach, right? Oh, there's Jegantha too. I mean, yeah, it could be, but Flooded Strand means no prowess, right? Prowess plays all mountains, so I think they're Breach. We still need Imperasaur Defenders with Drawbridge. There's Boros Convoke builds to be had. I just feel like in the Defenders build, like Karn combo fits so well, and Imperasaur doesn't fit well at all. Yeah, let's say Just Sky Breach. So we can convoke the Knight-Errant if we don't draw a land. Would love to draw a land. I guess we play the Memnite. We could hold it for Clarion Spirit, but I think getting in for an extra damage is correct. Well, that's underwhelming hit for sure. Like I said, we got a big board state. Very good against their like 1-for-1 plan. Thanks Louise for the 25. Glad you liking the stream. My nemesis. Once friend turned enemy. Also, why did they crack their bauble? Oh, that's why. 1-2 actually like really relevant here. 2-4 against the 3-2. Yeah, I may not have great attacks here. Maybe okay, sacking Halo Hopper and Goblin for some damage. Man, imagine if we had the land for last turn. We'd be so much more ahead here. I think we're getting in though. Aether with the 28. Thank you. Remember Pyroclasm was the thing? Yeah, Pyroclasm was like, when I started playing, like just this modern staple. It was this absolute powerhouse that has really fallen into obscurity. Yeah, Pyroclasm would be a nice addition to Pioneer. It'd be really good. So they're casting Mamber into second Emery. Okay. Discard on third Emery. Not a... I wish that the... I don't know, it's okay. It just kind of like... I feel like I see the skeleton. I'm like, wait, that's not Emery, but Emery's over here killing the skeleton or whatever. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Another bauble. Just getting in. Yeah, with the Sunbaked Canyon, we'll just go and we'll play our land here. Sometimes you want to hold these for blood tokens. Gonna be a close game. Yeah, I remember at one point it was like, it was weird. It was like actively weird that like Tron was not splashing red for Pyroclasm. A different time. President tapped the Mox Amber there. The Reveal and Holy Heat. Make a Saga token. Yeah, this stabilizes them. Oh. They're dead on board now. Did they just punt? Because now they have to go to 1 to make a token, and then they die to an Alpha Strike. Yeah, dead to Epicure also, but they're also just dead on board. They also like there's actually nothing they can have. They can't have anything. Too freaking free, huh? Too free. I don't think I'm bringing in Stay in the Mind or Magistrate's kind of funny because it stops iteration and breach and Emery. Okay, I'll bring in some Magistrates. Yeah, that was a good performance from our paid actor, huh? Surge would have done it? No, because they didn't have any. They only had blue mana. They couldn't. Any like colored mana they just couldn't get. Like you got a mountain, but then they're still dead because they're not making a token. I'm doing well, 50. How you doing? Halo Hopper, yeah, Hopper's great because you just get to play it turn 1 off of Rebirths or turn 2 off Spirit 0 Rebirth. Or sorry, not Rebirth, just Spirit into 0 tap 3 creatures. Like here we have that sequence. Keeping ahead with no 1-drop is weird, but we'll keep it on the strength of turn 2 Spirit 0 Hopper. Well, if I draw a Rebirth, we'll go Rebirth Hopper. I did draw Rebirth. Okay, so we go Rebirth. Ornithopter, Gleeful Demolition. Oh, this is really bad. Hold on. So this is really bad into removal spell because it's the targeted kind. Maybe I just pass. Yeah, I think I just pass. Isn't that white 3/2 convoke better? No, because this can be cast turn 1 off your goblins. The other one doesn't get cast. It doesn't get cast off your goblins turn 1. Although, doesn't that one? I don't know. Maybe that one is a little bit better because it does get more power. I don't know. The turn 1 hopper is like really why you're playing it. Also, it being an artifact is a little bit relevant. Coward stream. I mean, some might say coward stream. Some might say just playing correctly stream. I feel like it's really right to wait a turn, but maybe not. Maybe coward stream. Yeah, studies. We've done some studies. It turns out coward stream after all. The white Halo Hopper is a 5/4 though, right? If you convoke it, completely. So I don't know. It's kind of tough because like I don't know. I think this being more playable turn 1 is better. Yeah, every format convoke deck could be good to hold Gleeful Demolition for Shadow Spirit also. 2 counters. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Never not DM. Think of it 7 months. We appreciate our forever DMs. So you would think if my opponent had another removal spell, they would have already killed my Clarion Spirit, right? They would have done it. Maybe they're going to do it now, but the old post-combat connive. Wow, Prismatic Ending my Ornithopter. Oh, because they don't have enough colors. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I go 1 mana, Halo Hopper 1 mana, Gleeful Demolition, 1 mana. 4 creatures because I get the Spirit, and then I Loxodon. So the first time I think demolitioning a Hopper, which is sad. But I have to do this. Yeah, you can't play any tap lands in this deck. It's better to use 2 mana on Hopper then. Yeah, sorry, I made that mistake a few times. Could have had 1 more counter on one of their spirits. And maybe it was, I don't know, could have kept our Frogmite, kept our Demolition for Shadow Spear. Got a lot of good draws though. Why play Pioneer deck in Modern? Well, so I know the history of the Pioneer deck, I believe, and I could be wrong, but obviously there's a lot of parallel thinking too. But it started off as a Modern deck on this stream, and then Doomwake working on it, and it's doing really well on Pioneer. But you get a lot of redundancy. You get to play 8 Rebirths, you get to play 8 0-drops. Sunbaked Canyon's huge. Like, the deck is a lot better in Modern. Obviously it needs to be, right? Hey Gap, thank you for the raid. Tons of Yellow Hat raids lately. Okay, explosives on 0 is not great for me. Do they have a land? They have a mana floating. They have a land. Well, fuck. Have we figured out what you should play in Barcelona yet? No. No. I don't know. I honestly think like creativity is probably is easily the safest answer. Easily the safest answer. And like, I kind of think you should maybe play 1 Elesh Norn 3 Archon's main deck. But I don't know. I also kind of feel like there's a good chance that you can like have some kind of genius metagame call. So if I figure that out, I'll message you, Gab. I'll only message you too. Unless I somehow qualify, then I'll work with you. But Murktide, I don't think Murktide's an amazing choice, but it's fine. I think if you want to go, I'm gonna play the best deck at the PT. It's gonna be creativity, or like the safe best deck. I don't know. Game 3. On the play for game 3. Maybe I just want to be a bit faster. Cut the Magistrates. It's okay. I was thinking for a little while that Dredge might be like quietly like this amazing option, and it might still be. It's really bad against Scam, but I do think it's like very good against Rhinos, Murktide, and creativity. But it's bad against Scam and Hammer. It's bad against Scam and Hammer, so there may be some issues there. But Dredge might like be weirdly like wild card. Good call. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Dredge seems like weirdly. I think if you like have the metagame pegged that people are going to play creativity, Murktide, Rhinos, and not a lot of scam and not a lot of hammer. I don't really think there's going to be a lot of hammer. Dredge might be a good pick. And maybe you could playtest the scam matchup also and like see if there's any like tech that makes it a little bit better. There might be, there might not be also. I think I have to mulligan. It's very close. Don't like this hand very much. We have a lot of really good draws at least. What's the matchup strength between Dredge and Living End? Matchup strength there. I mean, Living End may be quietly a very good option, but Living End's really good against creativity. It's fine against Scam. Unfavored against Murktide, but fine. Good against Hammer. Yeah, maybe Living End. I mean, Gab also has like tons of Living End experience too. Living End seems fine. Seems totally fine. You also get to leverage like that like deck expertise if you're Gab for Living End. I think this deck mulligans well. No, I don't think this deck mulligans well, but I think that hand had like way too many bricks and like had too many dead turn 2s that we should mulligan that one. But no, I thought I've been saying this whole time that deck mulligan's pretty bad actually. I think we have to play the Clarion Spirit. What about Yawgmoth? I don't think Yawgmoth is very good against creativity, Rhinos, Scam, which I think is going to be a big chunk of the metagame. How many people are going to play Scam is really confusing to me. But I think the two most popular decks are going to be, or the most popular deck's going to be creativity. The next most popular is going to be like maybe Rhinos, maybe Murktide. And I think that Scam could be number 2, but could be anywhere from like not that popular at all to like third most popular deck. It's just kind of tricky. Yeah, but Living End would definitely, especially if I was Gab, which, wow, what a dream. Would be pretty high on my testing list. Alright, let's attack for 2. Rhinos will be number 2. Yeah, I think so like one thing is like I think Rhinos probably should be number 2. I think there's a good chance that there's maybe like teams just dismiss it or they like don't like it so much in testing, but it's a really safe choice. And like one like huge point to Rhinos is that like Rhinos is like I think has a favorable matchup against creativity, not by a lot, but like by a little bit. And then I also think that your Murktide matchup is fine, your Scam matchup's favored, your Hammer matchup is a little favored. Just like not a lot. There's like not a lot of weaknesses with the Rhinos plan. I haven't played Living End in a while. Yeah, I like one thing that I like about Living End is like outside of Scam, there's just not that much graveyard hate right now. I think Scales could be kind of popular. I would be really surprised if Scales was popular. I think maybe 1 or 2 people will play it. Scales is really good. Scales is like really broken. It's just like a broken deck, but it's also like it also has an unfavorable creativity matchup, which kind of hard to feel like your deck is super broken when that's the case, maybe. What's Infect week 2? Murktide, Scam, Creativity, Rhinos. Just like the format. Unfortunately. Stop with the removal, opponent. Thought maybe because they grape-shotted my Spirit, they didn't have another one. Should I play this other Bushwhacker? I think no. It's kind of greedy not to. No attack. I know they have Ragavan in their hand, so I'm leaving the Goblin back to block. Which maybe I should do again here. Now I'll Hopper block. Oh no, I should have played the Bushwhacker because I'm going to block with the Hopper then. I want to have the Bushwhacker in play. Blue Scales. I mean, yeah, I've been playing Orvar in the sideboard or like. I really don't think that you're supposed to play the blue splash. It's just so hard to hold up mana, and I don't know. The matchup is also not abysmal. It's just like unfavored. Can I get a happy birthday for your cat? For your cat? Sure, happy birthday. Just resolve Crusader against Murktide, easy win. I don't know. Like they have Murktide and Shredder that both block. It's like they also have Counterspell for your 3 mana spell. They have Dress Down Bolt. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Alright, save the Bushwhacker to win with next turn after we find 1 drop, 0 drop. Enchantress? Is Enchantress good against creativity? It's probably actually fine. Solitary Confinement blanks Archon. Seems fine. Okay, so they make a token, block here. Then they, if I draw land, 1/1/1, 12. I'm a little short, huh? Yeah, ley lines also. Yeah, Enchantress maybe like one of those. Like Enchantress like Dredge, maybe like sneaky best deck to play at the PT. I'm just gonna jam. Yeah, Heliod might quietly be really good. Probably not, but it's like way better in paper. I wouldn't recommend spending too much time with it. This Mill, yeah, Mill's good against creativity. Mill is not very good against Murktide and Scam, but it's pretty good against about everything else. Okay, so if we send with everything. They have to chump this. They chump with Ragavan. Then, if they can go make a token, get an artifact, equip Shadow Spear, I'm dead. They have to have a land for that, though, and they've been missing all their land drops. I'm also like, I don't know, I'm just going to get them. Good recommended for a Soaring Commander deck. I don't really play any Commander these days. I have a couple decks, but I haven't played in a long time. No, well, I played a couple weekends ago, but... they can just block 2 X2s? Don't they need... Well, if they're blocking with Ragavan at all, the Ragavan dies. Does Fetch Springleaf Drum get them the mana they need? Yes, it does, actually. But they double block the Knight. Wow. I thought the Knight was a 4/4. This block makes more sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. May still die. Thoughts of Martyr's Soul? I think Hopper is a little better because you get to play turn 1 off the Kuldotha Rebirth, but it might be better. It might be better. The like 5/4 upside is pretty big. I think you should play one or the other, not both. They have the explosives on 1, but they're at 2. That they had to lose. It's just the Shadow Spear there. They're at 1, so they can't. If I draw Epicure, they can't crack the fetch. I've got Clue tokens. I got Blood tokens. I have Sunbaked Canyons. If I draw a 3rd Bushwhacker right now, they'd probably die. Unless they have Mountain, Burn Spell. Weird game. Alright, let's crack a Clue. Alright, good luck. They need another explosives. We kill their Mox Amber. Kill my Clue token, though. Yeah, not cracking the Scalding Tarn. GG's got there. I think of the blue-black Goryo food deck. We've trophied. We trophied with it. I mean, Rona didn't really feel like something super special, but like a blue-based version of like the Asmo food Goryo's deck did feel pretty fine. So you know, to be determined a little bit, I guess. This would be a great 7. I really don't want to have to rebirth my Hopper. I think I actually just put back second rebirth. This way I can attack with... I can rebirth the Ornithopter and then just have 7 power turn 1. Could hold this for Clarion Spirit. I'll play it. I know it makes top deck Clarion Spirit worse, but I think just... I have 7 power and play turn 1. Good luck. Yeah, any red fetches are the same. Okay, up against Tron. 3 turn clock. Seems fine. If I demolition my Memnite now... then it doesn't change the clock, so we should just kill the map. Also makes Bushwhacker worse. No, it's the same with Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker wouldn't change anything, right? Thought you would put back the land. You know, I didn't really consider putting back the land, but I think you're actually right. I should have. That would have been a good play. Okay, I still have lethal next turn if they counter this rebirth. It's kind of hard for them to counter it with Condescend. They could have Remand. Yeah, you have Remand. Let's go wide here though. Big bet against Bridge. Want to go wide anyways. Yeah, I'm playing just Goblin Bushwhacker, not Reckless Bushwhacker. Right? You probably ask about Reckless Bushwhacker, right? Wow, we did it. We beat Blutron, baby. Alright, sideboarding is cringe. I'm gonna just... Yeah, oh, the worst against main deck explosives? I don't know if that's a thing. It might be a thing. Yeah, no bad matchups. Tron is almost an order archetype as Tooth and Nail. Yeah, Tooth and Nail... What, what an archetype, huh? Sometimes at paper tournaments you still see, like, somebody that's crawled out of their basement to come play in the local Modern tournament with, like, unupdated Tooth and Nail for, like, 10 years, 8 years. They're just having a good time. Sansford, thank you for the 1-year resub. Happy anniversary. Why is Snapcaster suboptimal in the format these days? I'm trying out Snapcaster as an extra threat in Blue-Black Shadow. It's not performing. It's kind of a complicated question, but I think like the simplest way to look at it is like if you look at like the main archetype that historically Snapcaster would go in, Murktide, a low to the ground deck with lots of cheap instants and sorceries to flash back. Snapcaster just is like a 3 or 4 drop in a deck that doesn't want to play 3 and 4 drops. You know, you just like that deck just wants to have its curve be as low as possible. And I don't know that it's really, you know, much more complicated than that. Like it's just high on the mana curve in a format where like the blue decks need to have a super duper low curve. Tempting to demo the map. Then we're 1 short of Loxodon turn 2. Let's just set up the Loxodon turn 2. They're Bluetron. I'll play the Memnite so that I can attack for 1 next turn. Yeah. Also like Murktide Regent, Underworld Breach tend to be like better ways to utilize your graveyard in these fair blue decks. Blue-white control would be a deck that like would maybe want to consider playing Snapcaster Mage, but then you have the tensions of like wanting to play Chalice, wanting to play Solitude, wanting to play Leyline Binding, wanting to play Kihira, wanting to play Memory Deluge. None of these cards work that well with Snapcaster, but if blue-white control was a shell that worked well with Snapcaster, you would be more interested in it. Okay, so they are gonna have Tron, but can they even do anything with Tron? Could be, is it correct to Knight-Errant to dig for Bushwhacker? Probably just better to Loxodon, right? So put them to 19, and then this is 14 power plus 1, 15. I guess I don't have lethal next turn with the Loxodon. It's going to be 1 extra turn anyways, but I guess 0-drop Bushwhacker also isn't lethal. Would Snap be a good addition to Pioneer? It would be a really sad addition to Pioneer, because I think people would be very excited for it. I think it would also just be it would be pretty mediocre. I would guess. Like your spells in Pioneer are a lot worse, and you're also a Treasure Cruise format, Treasure Cruise Dig Through Time format. Typically, would want to play that card and those cards instead. Do you guys see playing Standard these days? No. If Fable of the Mirror Breaker was a sorcery, I mean, Snapcaster was fine in Standard when it was around, but it was always like kind of a fringe, like, well, not fringe. It was like a staple in the blue control decks, but it wasn't like the best card in Standard. It wasn't like it was the best card in Standard or one of the best cards in Standard in like Mirrodin or Scar's Innistrad. This was before my time, but like when you had Vapor Snag, Ponder, Mana Leak, Snapcaster was crazy. My experience with Snapcaster is Return to Ravnica Innistrad, where it was fine, but it was not nearly the card it was when you had Ponder, Mana Leak, Vapor Snag. When you're flashing back, when your Sphinx's Revelations cost 2 more, it's fine. 6 mana Supreme Verdicts, you know, Snapcaster Dissolve, Snapcaster Azorius Charm, fine. Not amazing. Lucy, is that you or Lucy opening the door?
Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy usually open. I guess she just heard you coming. Lucy knows how to open my door now.
She doesn't? She does.
She does, yeah. 6 mana Verdict House, Snapcaster, target Supreme Verdict. But I find Sundering Titan. Not, or very surprised, I'd say. Any hoppers in the chat? I think we go Inspector, Epicure, kill Karn for 3, attack my opponent for 4. And then let's I guess we have 2 1s convoked and then a bunch of 0s, so we kind of split against explosives. Could have been maybe better to do 1 more 1. There's a Ratchet Bomb. Could have also cast Hopper. I guess it would maybe a bit better to cast the Hopper, so getting it for 4. No, just getting it for 4. You're crazy if you didn't think Snap was insane in RTR Innistrad. It wasn't. I played a ton of that format. It was a fine card. It was fine. It was played. But, like, it was not a top 10 card in that format. Like, the top 10 cards in RTR Innistrad Standard are, like, Resto, Thragtusk, Hotmaster, Liliana of the Veil, Sphinx's Revelation, Champion of the Parish. I mean, the humans deck is a whole thing. I don't know. You have Hellrider. You have, did I say Supreme Verdict? I may have said Supreme Verdict. You have Burial Rites. You have, definitely Burial Rites up there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Angel Serenity, potentially. Geist of St. Traff, potentially. You have the whole Auras deck. This was after Delver. You have the whole Auras deck. You have the Humans deck. You have Mono Red. You have so much. You have a lot of cards that are, like, you know, just more impactful than Snapcaster. But not that it was. Yeah. All the Aristocrats. Blasphemous Act was maybe on the list. The Blood Earth deck. You have Lingering Souls in that format. Lingering Souls is huge. Thunderball Hellkite was a huge card in that format. Obsidat maybe. Obsidat was really good. Like the Brian Braun duet was sweet. Lifebane Zombie. All these a little late. Yeah, very fun to brew in. It was a format where like people were like constantly brewing until the very end. Like I always thought it was so cool that Brian Bronduin either top 8'd or won the very last Star City Games Open with a brand new brew. It was like this black-white Obsidian deck with Giralf's Messenger and Restoration Angel. That was so sick. I think there was Desecration Demon. There was this green-black rock deck. Oh, it's just like, what a format, huh? Let's just play Epicure here. I kind of don't want to just jam the Rebirth into a Spell Pierce, and then I also would love to go land Memnite. Yeah, the Black-Red Zombies deck was beautiful. Naya Blitz, yeah, we've like barely mentioned Naya Blitz. Beautiful, beautiful format. Also, are we up against Bluetron again? We're getting dismembered. Back-to-back mono Blutrons? No way. This has been a weird day today, y'all. Fuck. Land? Okay, we drew a land. So if we draw a land or a 0, we can go Spirit into Loxodon next turn, which would be awesome. Okay, not quite that lucky. Let's just Loxodon. Okay, fair enough. Cast a spell to get countered, yeah. I guess that was better to Spirit. Yeah, this deck is surprisingly budget friendly. You get the Switch Prime, hope you're doing well today. Thank you. There's also this really cool like blue-green Evolve deck with Pognify and Stranglergeist. That was just the coolest ever in that format. Yeah, Jace Architect of Thought was also huge. I can't believe we didn't even mention Jace. That's just how that format is, though. There's just so many bangers. Alright, no decisions this turn. A Maz with the 16 months. Red White Convoke deck is rampant in Pioneer too. Yeah, the deck's really good. I honestly like the deck seems really scary in Pioneer. It has so many starts like that you just can't beat. Or it seems like you can't beat. Maybe just attack first because of counter magic. I think it's okay. If they take up the Blast on the 2, couple of spirits, they're killing their own talisman, so I'm not that scared of that. Yeah, we didn't even mention Farseek, and we're talking about RTR Innistrad Standard. What a format. What a format. Ugh. Take me back. Take me back. Yeah, it was like, that was probably like literally the best card of the format. I just totally even blanked on. Yeah, I would love a RTR Innistrad, like Q on Magic Online. That would be, I would play it like all day. Oh, sorry, let me cast the Demolition. We are now just casting spells into Chalice to trigger the Clarion Spirit. Deathward Shaman. Shaman honestly didn't see almost any play. Sometimes you'd play it in Abzan Reanimator, but it was like it's still like usually worse than like Avacyn's Pilgrim in as far as my memory serves. Yeah, one of the best cards ever. Didn't see, like Snapcaster, better in like older formats than newer formats. I guess I didn't play around Cyclonic Rift very well, huh? No, Artillery Instrument wasn't damaged on the stack. Wasn't that? I'm not that old. Alright, let's go to game 2. The Revenge of Mono Blue Tron. Yeah, another Return to Ravnica and a Strat staple. What a time. What a time. Adver the Worm. I played a lot of green-white. So Silverblade Paladin, Loxodon Smiter, Rancor, Thalia. A lot of mana dorks. The first deck I would play at FNM was I just played every mana dork in the format, and then I played Collective Blessing, which is a 6-mana enchantment that gives your creatures +3/+3. So you go mana dork, into turn 2, 2 mana dorks, turn 3. All your mana dorks are 4/4s. It's my first brew, and I loved Predator Ooze. I had Predator Ooze in the deck. I had Celestia Charms and Smiters. It was so fun, just like green-white, stompy, you know. All right, keep this. Maybe a little slow. We have a lot of really good top decks for turn 2. Oh yeah, Boros Reckoner was huge in that format too. What a time. Gavany Township, what a time. I Township in the deck too. King of Poners with the 8 months, thank you. You really did predict Knight-Errant of Eos power? I know, yeah. I know. It's okay. Should be attacking first. They're also not dismembering here. Repeal my clue token. Cool line. They could have done that main phase because of Rebirth, or they had the high upside of like countering a Demolition though. Okay, thankfully my hand's not too weak to this Chalice. I guess I actually go. Yeah, we'll just cast the Bushwhacker into the Chalice, and then we can Loxodon. Yeah, we'll front. Yeah, I know this stream has just become name a card from RTR Innistrad Standard, but that's my point. That like again, Snapcaster was not insane in that format. Was very insane in the prior format. The Snapcaster was like just a fine archetype role player. Yeah, and with Ponder, Mana Leak, Vapor Snag was actually great. Yeah, I think we're just gonna cast the Hopper. Yeah, basic lands were not good in the format. Actually, you're just like a shock land, check land format. Alright, you could just like not think about no remand, but I just whatever. Just gonna cast my Hopper. Like I don't even know what my opponent can have here to not be dead. Get pro with Snapcaster also. Prior format. What's my favorite modern staple has been power crept out of the format? I mean Snapcaster. When I sold my modern collection like 6 years ago at this point, 5 or 6 years ago, and when I was buying back into a paper collection like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the very first cards I bought were Snapcaster Mages and 4 in black border lightning bolts. I think I can keep this. I like that I can Gleeful Demolition and Expedition map. Also the draw. Snapcaster Mages, 4 in black border lightning bolts were the first 2 cards I bought. Or play sets of cards. Get that token repealed here. Ooh, Force of Negation and Bluetron. You don't see that every day. Alright, if they have Force into Chalice, we're in bad shape. No Chalice. They have an Expedition map, which I maybe am going to Gleeful Demo. Let's Gleeful Demo. They only have 3 cards. I know they don't have Tron or anything at the moment, but I'm okay taking the turn off. I know Inspector maybe setting up for Faster Loxodon is fine. Okay. I had a good feeling about the the demo. They exiled, I think, Repeal with Force. Yeah. Being on one land against 3 man always feels bad. Oh, Kestrog Inspector. No, they don't have 2. Oh boy. Would Bobsy play if Ren and 6 was gone? Maybe. Ren and 6 has always been the biggest problem for Bob, I think. Or since Ren has been around. Okay, no Karn. Fact or fiction? Wow. Y'all can just really do whatever you want, huh? Tron players. So they don't have a land in their hand. I think I probably would not want Urza's Mine and Karn the Great Creator in the same pile. And I hate factor. Let me do this. I know I said I didn't want those 2 cards together, but it seems okay. Yeah, they took the other pile. Really wish I could Convoke here, but they drew a mine anyways. So their hand is Condescend, Thirst for Knowledge, Chalice, 2 mystery cards that are, I believe, both spells or probably both spells. Tough game. Tough game. Okay, Chalice hold up either Thirst or Condescend. They're all 1 drop. Okay, let's cast Clarion Spirit. If they Condescend, then they're not casting Thirst, and if this resolves, we can play one of our 5 drops into the Condescend, getting a 1/1, and stopping them from using their mana to Thirst here. Or, you know, maybe, you know, they Thirst and we get to resolve this. What's the fastest deck turn you could... When I think turn 3, I don't think we have any turn 2s. Maybe... No, we have turn 2s. Right? Yeah, no, you should, I think there's theoretically you can go turn 1 Demolition, 2 Memnites, turn 2 Bushwhacker. I guess that's only... that's only 14, yeah, so... Probably not. Oh, they found Tron. Fuck. There's gotta be some combination that turn 2s. Maybe like turn 1... Thraben Inspector, Memnite, Loxodon. Yeah, I mean, that'd probably turn 2s. Blue Tron's still a thing? I'm expecting a counterspell, so I'm going to plan to attack for a little bit more damage this turn. Still kind of want the Spirit token. If they have another... I guess I could attack first because of Cyclonic Rift, but... You know, we'll just get rifted again. Having such a hard time playing around Cyclonic Rift. Okay, it's Shark Typhoon. Better against Shark Typhoon. Yeah, no, we just beat Blue Tron. Funny to lose to it. Played against any of the 8-field cover decks? Yeah, I've played against them several times. Trellon definitely made that deck really popular. Yeah, we got rifted last game. I don't know. I mean, Mono Blue Tron players they're free of all burdens of Modern. They're free of all deck building conventions. They're free of all strategy. They just can do whatever the fuck they want. It's awesome. They're truly free.